So I think what I got off this was number one, gold nugget come in. And that is listen more than you talk.
Yes, listen more than you talk.
Marcus Sheridan talked about this a lot too. Is that today's customer is much more educated than and has information at their fingertips. So they have the information. You just need to hear more about what they're thinking and where they're coming from. Welcome to the Small Business Safari, where I help guide you to avoid those traps, pitfalls, and dangers that lurk when navigating the wild world of small business ownership. I'll share those gold nuggets of information and invite guests to help accelerate your ascent up that mountaintop of success. It's a jungle out there, and I want to help you traverse through the levels of owning your own business that can get you bogged down and distract you from achieving your own personal and professional goals. So strap in, adventure team, and let's take a ride through the safari and get you to the mountaintop.
Now this is when it gets really boring.
No.
What? Come on, Alan. Never gets boring here on the Small Business Safari. Welcome, everybody, to today's edition of the Small Business Safari. We are going ad hoc, and we've actually got a great guest in studio today with us, Amanda Griffey from Cowan Supply here. What makes it great for us old people is that she's young, Alan.
I take offense to that.
You're old.
Sorry.
Yep.
I mean, I prefer to use the word seasoned when I talk to someone that's older than me.
I like you better already,
Seasoned.
more than Chris.
Y'all are seasoned.
Okay, we're seasoned, but you're still old. Older than a cast iron seasoned skillet. Can you say that? All right.
I don't think that's been banned yet.
Not yet?
No.
That didn't make me explicit?
No,
That hasn't been canceled?
they haven't been canceled.
Ooh, are you close to getting canceled, Chris?
We're getting close to canceled.
So what
Okay.
kind of TikTok are you going to make Amanda do while she's
None.
Oh, we're TikToking. Chris
Yeah.
Talk is in the
So-
house, baby.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest TikToker out there. Actually, I'm really not, but I was challenged by my social media guy. I said, man, dude, you got to get into it. I'm like, I can't do it. So I finally did it. And I've told the story before, but I've got to tell it again. Sitting at the breakfast table on Sunday morning, you know how your phone comes up and tells you your screen usage. My screen usage popped up and my daughter went, wow, Dad, you use your phone a lot. I said, kid, I run my business off my phone. She goes, let me look. Number one app,
TikTok.
bingo, bing bong. All right. I think we're figuring out which TikTok we're going to do. But Amanda,
Did you catch that, Amanda?
No, I don't even know anything about TikTok. Look, I have TikTok downloaded, but my notifications are off, and I am 90% sure I have like 120 videos that are sent to me that I have not seen yet.
It's for people who have an extremely short attention span and
Mhm.
nothing better to do.
Contractors.
boy, I wonder who that is. Bing bong. Here he is. I actually goldfish are better than me. They're at 7 seconds. I'm at 6.2, I think.
I think that's
Wow.
stretching it.
Yeah, that is stretching it.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So we brought Amanda in because Amanda has a great story. And we wanted to bring her in because we've been talking about entrepreneurship and starting your own business. But what's really cool is that Amanda brings a fresh perspective and being younger. And I'm going to say it again.
You're really
Younger.
You're really driving that bus.
Yeah. Just letting you know.
I know he
Yeah.
makes me sound like I'm 12 or something.
I drove a
over here.
long way for this abuse, Chris.
Yeah, I know.
Today.
And he's doing it for free.
Yeah.
And he actually brought me gifts anyway, because we forgot to say this. Cheers, Alan. Good to
Cheers.
see you.
Yeah.
Amanda, thanks for coming.
Cheers.
We are well stocked for the next foreseeable future.
That's right. And so if it starts getting slurry, you just know that Jack's in the house with us.
That's right.
Uh-oh,
Uncle Jack.
Uncle Jack. So Amanda said, hey, Chris, I know you from NARI, which is the the National Association of the Remodeling Industry here locally. I want to start my own podcast. Can I come see what you have for a setup? I'm like, sure. It'll be a quick tour. But she said, I think I want to do it. I'm like, all right, let's get into this thing. And she said, okay, I think I've got everything I want to do. And I'm like, nope, I think you're going to do a podcast with us. So here she is, no preparation whatsoever. And we brought her in studio.
None.
And Amanda, the evolution in the short time that we've been doing this, what was it? August? We started 6 months ago.
We've only been 6 months at it.
Yeah, it was this little microphone the size of a postage stamp sitting in between us, and none of this equipment.
Okay.
And then Chris, in his usual style, just kind of goes all in. And next thing you know, we've got the mix board. Next thing you know, we're not sharing a mic. Now we all have mics. We got headphones.
And it's going to keep getting better and better every day. Now we got a table, and then we're going to get some more soundproofing going on. We're going to do a better green screen.
And we have thousands of downloads.
We have thousands of downloads, and people are listening, and people are starting to respond and give me some feedback, which is great, which is what I was talking to Amanda about, is that I want to get more feedback from everybody. So go out there. If you're listening to these podcasts, we really would love you to either hit me up on my Instagram. You can DM me at the customerservice.freak. I changed my logo. Did you notice that?
No.
I'm customerservice.freak now on
Dot
Instagram,
freak.
baby.
It
I
has to
like
be on
it.
there.
Because we're customer service
Freaks. That's right.
The unison that just happened right there with that.
Yeah,
We're getting better and better every
Yeah.
episode.
I was going to
In
say,
our
have you
minds.
practiced?
Yeah, we get better with the more beer we drink.
Yeah. We will think so. Right. We get better looking. We get better at what we're doing. So we bring Amanda in studio. And so let's introduce Amanda to everybody. I talked about how we met in NARI, but what we don't know is, Amanda, where are you from?
So I am from Colorado originally. I have been in Atlanta for 4 years now. Haven't decided to move back to Denver. I think about it frequently, but the cost of living out there is too crazy for me. It's too crazy.
It's expensive out in Denver, but that's a beautiful country out
It
there.
is an awesome city too.
Yeah.
It is. I do agree.
It's close to Oregon, which is near and dear to.
You know what? It's so funny that you say that.
Go ahead.
Denver is 1,000 miles from Portland.
Only 1,000?
1,000 miles. So people just kind of lump all those states out west together, like, oh yeah, they're right next door. Out west, Denver, Oregon, whatever.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 miles between those two cities.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, someone yesterday told me that I was a Yankee and I was from the north because Colorado is above the Dixie line. And I was like, excuse me, Midwest all the way.
Colorado
offense
wasn't
to
even
you
a
Northerners
state
out
when
there.
they had the whole Yankee Rebel thing going.
Yeah. You don't hear of many people who move from the west to the east. Although we've interviewed some guys who've moved back and forth, but they always end up back out there. And so here's Amanda coming all the way to the great state of Georgia, comes to Atlanta. What brings you to Atlanta?
So I originally moved to Atlanta because I met a man. For all of those out there listening, not with that man. We all knew that was the end of that.
So Amanda's on the market.
I am not on the market.
Oh.
Whoa, hello. Found another
Oh,
man. Hello.
wow, okay.
That
Is he
didn't take long.
Is he a Southern boy?
No. So my fiance is actually from Queens. So he's from the north.
That's what we like to call a Yankee.
That
He is a Yankee. Absolutely.
Bing bong.
So no, originally I moved out here to be with a guy that I'm not with anymore. And I got to transfer with the company I was with at the time. So that was great. I came out with a stable job and I loved it. And then I decided to step away from that career and now I do plumbing. So
Let's get into that. She's a plumber.
I am not a plumber.
Oh, whoops. All right. What do you do?
I am not a plumber. Okay. Never come to me for plumbing questions. I know just enough to be dangerous. You'll probably flood your house. I do showroom sales. So luxury showroom sales for Cowan Supply. So they are a wholesaler, a plumbing wholesaler that has a showroom and a commercial counter.
So what made you get into that business? Why didn't you just stay doing what you were doing before? What got you into the construction field or plumbing supply?
So fun story. I took a break. I used to be in furniture sales. I took a break when I got pregnant and I had my son. And I knew that after that, I wanted to go back into sales. So I was on Indeed, like we all are when we're looking for a new job. And I found the tile shop and they were looking for sales. And I was like, oh, I've done sales, but I've never sold tile. But how hard can it be to sell tile? Right? It's really hard. So I thankfully passed my interview. I was with the tile shop for 6 years. And then I went into training Home Depot how to sell remodels. So sell their flooring, sell their bathroom products. And I trained 150 Home Depots from Georgia to North Carolina for about 2 years. And then
You were the trainer for 150.
I was the trainer for
So you went from
150.
selling tile is hard to training 150
training
homes.
150 stores on how to sell tile and carpet and bathroom remodels and water heaters and COVID happened, unfortunately. And
So let me ask you, what was so hard about selling tile, and then what did you figure out in such a short time?
well, selling tile was hard because I didn't know anything about tile. And then I was like, oh, tile is easy because, all the DIY shows make it look like it's a super easy product. Like there's nothing to it. And then I learned the difference between natural stone and ceramic and porcelain and the temperatures things are baked at and grout joints and what's required to set it and all of these things that I never knew went in behind the scenes of selling tile. I got to go set some tile on a few job sites with contractors to learn. Backsplashes, they're great. Anything past that, hire a professional. Do not call me. And then as time got on and I got more comfortable selling tile and doing design, it just got easier. And now it's like second nature to me, I guess.
So you're obviously a quick study, a big learner. You like that stuff. You're showing a passion for this.
Yes. So construction was a passion I didn't know I had until I was in it. And I thank my manager from the tile shop all the time, because if he hadn't hired me, I would have never known that I actually love this industry.
That's awesome. You got to break into this space and you didn't even know if you liked it or not. Maybe a little even, clearly you said you were intimidated, but you get into it, you go learn. And the tile shop is, if you don't know much about tile and you're out there looking, that's a high-end tile outfit. They do really good tile. And of course, that's where I put my own tile in my own bathroom.
Well,
because I made the huge mistake of taking my wife there. That's what happened to me. Okay. I was on the way to Floor and Decor and I made a wrong turn. But no, I'm thrilled with the tile, it's their service, everything they do. So she learned a lot about, because they are great customer service.
They are customer service oriented. Yes.
And they should be sponsoring this freaking podcast, Alan.
They should.
What am I doing?
Hey, tile shop
and,
out there.
And I know you're in plumbing now, but I still want to talk tile. Well, actually, what I want to talk about is the whole sales process.
Okay.
So, for people listening, they get a little bit of a nugget. But what was it that you learned that made you such a great salesperson? And what was it that Home Depot saw in you that made them go, we need more of that across 150 stores?
So I think the biggest thing I learned was the 80-20 rule in selling. Let the customer do 80% of the talking, you do the other 20%. So that was the biggest thing that I ever took away, is actually listening to a customer. So when they talk, don't listen to respond, listen to actually absorb what they're saying so that you can meet their needs. Because the more you get to know a customer, the more that they're going to trust you. So, and using their names, I am terrible with names. I will be the first to admit that if I do not speak to you on a regular basis, you are probably going to be called hun or sweetie or love or some other nickname until it
or
clicks.
In guy language, it's slick, sport, chief.
Yeah, right. I was just, damn, that was the one I was calling for too. So, hey, chief. Hey, sport. Yeah.
Until your name actually clicks. So listening and introducing myself and hearing the customer's name and then dropping it in there like every few minutes or so, being like, yeah, Chris, how do you like this? And how do you like this? And how does this look to you, Chris? Like that means it makes them feel special because you're remembering their name and you're actually acknowledging what they're saying.
What's your closing line?
Will that be cash or card?
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Just blurt that out.
There's no, I'll let you take this home to think about it. The best thing I learned when actually selling a deal is not to give them any wiggle room. And I know that sounds so bad.
There's a timing.
You
can't just throw that out in the middle of the conversation. When do you know it's time to go cash or card?
When they are happy with their selection, when they are very much not asking any more questions, or their questions are, hey, do you offer delivery? And a lot of the times, especially in tile, a lot of people don't have the vehicle to take that home. So once everything was selected, my biggest line was, hey, your total is going to be, $22,000. That includes delivery. What day works best for you? So that way they knew that I was serious. Like, hey, you have everything you need, or finding out when their contractor was starting. Because if their contractor wasn't starting for 6 months, then I wasn't going to deliver it the next week. because then it just sits there for 5 months, Oh, your contractor's starting in 6 months. Okay, well, how about we deliver it 2 weeks before your contractor starts? Until then, it can sit in our warehouse. If they decide to have an opening, we can always deliver it earlier for you.
So I think what I got off this was number one, gold nugget, come in. And that is listen more than you talk.
Yes, listen more than you talk.
Marcus shared and talked about this a lot too. Is that today's customer is much more educated than and has information at their fingertips. So they have the information. You just need to hear more about what they're thinking and where they're coming from. But Alan, you asked a question, and I didn't hear the exact answer, but I'm going to answer for her. How do you know when you can say cash or card? When you get over that hump and you've proven to them that you know what you're talking about, number one, that you listen to them and you're providing a solution that's going to either fix their problems or give them their bathroom of their dreams or something that's going to happen.
Exactly.
Then they go, oh my gosh, I'm enraptured. Bingo. Which
that's a great word, Chris.
Wow.
Big word, baby. Hey, you know what? Stick with me, big boy. Got bigger words coming. Big bog.
We're going places.
He's got his master's degree in screw turning.
Yeah, that's right. You want to know all about screw turns?
But yes, I mean, and every customer is different. So there are customers who I would never who I know need to think about it, and I knew not to push them with saying, okay, this includes delivery. And I think going into sales, and for those of you who are starting out in sales, as long as you are confident with yourself, your customer will feel more confident with you. And the key is to feel what they're feeling. So if you know that they're anxious about coming in, you have to deter them from that. And you have to be confident. Even if you don't know 100% about the product that you're selling, you already know more than them. And that's the thing. A lot of people, yes, they have a lot of knowledge at their fingertips, but they're ultimately going to trust the person on the other end of the counter. But don't push customers if you feel if you know that they need the time. So during the conversation with them, and especially if you are listening more than you're talking, because people love to talk about themselves, you'll get a feel for when they're actually ready to purchase.
So your actual closing line isn't cash or card.
No, it's your total is this, and that includes delivery. What day works best for you?
What day works best for you?
What day works best for you?
Yeah.
How about that? That's assumptive close right there.
That's right.
That's what they talk about in the used car line.
You have to go in assuming you're going to win the sale right away. I mean, why else would they be there if they weren't going to purchase something?
All right. So you are Lord of the Universe with Home Depot and teaching all these heads full of mush how to sell tile. Why are you in plumbing?
So when COVID hit, vendors and trainers weren't really allowed into stores for safety precautions. And I definitely wasn't traveling across state lines anymore.
By the way, remember the attention span thing I was talking about with Chris?
I know.
It's way out the window.
Just look at me.
I know. Didn't he start the conversation with, hey, phones on silent, so we're not distracted?
No, I said that because I knew what Chris was.
Hey, and just for the record, everybody listening on podcast world, you didn't hear my phone go off, did you? I'm just a little preoccupied right now. Okay,
he's taking a photo of his AAA card, and now he's playing with his wallet. So
it's because I have a kid who's broken down the side of the road.
Oh,
life happens.
Oh, make me feel bad.
There you go.
I mean, why doesn't your kid know the AAA information already, though?
Well, that's going to
They are vastly unprepared to be out on the road.
Way
by
to parent.
I have failed my kids in so many ways in my parenting.
Your child.
Yeah. In fact, Amanda, I know you have a young child. Please.
I do.
Let me tell you all the things not to do.
Yeah.
I have a long list. Yeah.
Don't have a lot of them at the same time.
All right.
No.
So COVID and tile and plumbing.
Yes. So COVID hit and trainers weren't allowed in the stores. So I was basically furloughed or doing Zoom meetings. And it's harder to get teaching across when you're doing Zoom meetings.
Isn't that true?
It's not as effective.
It's not as effective.
I think the Chicago Chicago Teacher Union probably is debating that right now because they keep arguing for that, but not in Chicago. And I digress and I make a political comment. Let's go back to why you.
Yeah, let's not go there.
All right. Well, I brought it up.
So I actually continued doing it, and then we slowly started to be let back into stores, and I actually ended up at Cowan as a surprise. So it was not something, I was not looking to change careers. I enjoy training Home Depot. But I was traveling a lot, and I had a 7-year-old, and it was hard. and I did not enjoy being in my car for hours at a time because, of course, I didn't know Chris had this podcast. Had I known, I
Home
would've
Depot
been
might
way
have a
more.
star employee right now. Had she found our podcast earlier, Alan,
Exactly.
but now Home Depot's loss is our gain because we get to sit here and talk with Amanda.
So Ryan, who is my manager at Count Supply, he's the profit center manager. He actually gave me a call one day.
Profit Center Manager.
Yes.
There's a title.
Yes, PCM.
Hmm.
He gave me a call and I had no idea who he was. And he was like, "Hey, I have your resume sitting in front of me. I'd love to pull you in for an interview." And I was like, "Who is this?" And he was like, "Oh, this is Ryan. I'm from Cowan." And I was like, "I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude, but I don't know who you are."
See,
Like,
that she's playing hard to get.
I didn't send my resume
Double
to
the
him.
salary right there.
Right?
So I hadn't sent my resume out because I wasn't looking for a job. So what happened is my fiance is a contractor, and he overheard that they needed a showroom person. And so he sent them my resume and didn't tell me. And his thought process was, well, if they don't call, she'll never know. And if they call, then, she'll at least have an interview. And so they called, and it took a long time between Ryan and I to figure out how my resume actually got on his desk when I hadn't been the one to send it over. But then I went in for an interview, and I've been there since April, and I love it.
How about that? So the fiance gets her in the door.
Yeah.
We usually say, Alan, here, behind every great man is a better woman.
No, behind me is a much better man. Let me tell you.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's a nice testament. Well said.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I just want to take a moment and reflect on that.
Can we just for a minute?
Yeah.
And can I get that? You know what? I'm going to tape that, and I'm going to play that at home over and over and over and over and over.
While your wife
over.
is sleeping.
Yeah. So you're at Cowan Supply, and
Yes.
obviously Cowan will now be a sponsor of this podcast because we have Amanda on here now. So that's so thrilling that we have this superstar at Cowan. You had to go through all the learning process all over again, right?
Yes.
Because as much as there is to know about tile, there's even
more
more
to know about
in
plumbing. I know a very small amount compared to everybody else that is there. I know just enough to be dangerous right now, currently. But I work in the showroom, so that's second nature to me, being in a showroom, consulting with customers. That part's really easy. But the internal systems of plumbing, I definitely go see our commercial guys a lot when I have questions about valves and what they are and what they do and how they work. And thankfully, there's a great staff there that listens with every question that I have. And I walk away feeling a little bit more knowledgeable than I was before the conversation started.
So let's talk about this for a minute. I don't know if you know this, but you're a female.
What?
Shocker for everybody. You're in a very male-dominated industry between tile, depot, and now this.
Oh, I know.
So what are the pros?
Women rule the world. Just so you guys know out there, women rule the world.
I was wondering when we were going to get put back in our place, and we just found it.
Girls rule, guys drool.
Yeah.
I mean, girls also drool. I've met a few of them. They won't openly admit it, but we all know that you're out there. Okay.
That's funny. All right. So you're in this male-dominated world.
I am.
What is the pros? All right. So what I should say, what are the pros and what are the cons? I went from a rapture to no idea about English, but
well, the pros are there are a very small amount of females in the industry, so I become a superstar pretty quick if I know what I'm doing, which is great for me because I'm a little competitive and I like to be the best of the best. So that's one pro. It's also a pro because I look at the generation that's coming into the industry and, I see more women, more young girls, I guess, to say that are wanting to be in this industry. And I do like the fact that I can be a role model for them, whether it's in plumbing or tile or design, whatever they want to do. The cons are there's a lot more cons than there are pros. And a lot of the cons are it is a male dominated industry and it is a older male dominated industry, which no shade to the older male dominants that are out there.
You mean like Alan?
Like Chris?
Oh, damn it. Yeah. Okay.
Y'all are seasoned. Okay. I said old. I did not say seasoned.
Yeah.
there's a difference. To those that are out there, they are very reluctant to listen to a woman, to trust a woman. There are a lot who believe still that a woman's place is not in construction. So I like to break the glass ceiling on that frequently by putting them in their place, like I do with YouTube.
Right.
Now who are you selling to? To the end user, or are you selling to the consumer?
Yes.
Okay.
But so our showroom handles contractors and homeowners.
I gotcha. Okay.
So I have to sell to both, because if my contractors can't trust me, then I don't have any homeowners.
So what you're talking about with maybe not accepting is more on the contractor side.
It's more on the contractor side. So customers are pretty accepting because women are known to be better at designing. So when you are in a showroom and it's, they're a little bit more relaxed when it's a woman selling to you, because they feel like women automatically know how to design. But being in a plumbing part and coming from tile, contractors have a harder time putting their trust in me. I definitely have to work twice as hard as any man who is in a showroom to prove to them that I actually know what I'm doing.
So we had Amanda come into our place and talk with all of my team. I felt like, number one, they were respectful of her. And I didn't even have to tell them about that, which is, I'm proud of my guys for that. But there's no doubt about that.
Well, you also have a few girls that work around here too. So
yeah.
I mean, they better be respectful because they have women in the building already.
Yeah. But it's, again, when the female is telling you about how to put this plumbing in, there's definitely this side eye going on from the guys going, yeah, right. Have you ever cut a pipe? Have you ever sweat copper? Have you ever put in PEX? Have you ever put in PVC? And I'm throwing out all these great terms just to see if I can stump her. But
I know what all of those are. Yes. I have done none of that, by the way.
And I felt like those guys learned a lot and knew that whether she knew what she was talking about completely or not, they walked away going, she presented herself well. She took our follow-ups because she sent us all cut sheets and abilities, things for us to show to our clients. And I do know that my guys are going to her more and more because of that.
Yes, I'm very well prepared.
So that was good. Except for this podcast.
First of all, I did not know I was going to be interviewed when I walked in. I did walk in just to talk to him about the setup of the podcast. And it turned into, hey, you're going to stay and do an interview, right? And I was
do a TikTok.
And apparently a TikTok.
We're definitely TikToking after this.
Happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't worry about that. I got you TikToked already.
When you're dealing with consumers, who's making the decision?
Me. No, I'm just kidding.
The
consumer makes the decision. A lot of the
husband-wife scenario.
It's usually the wife.
Do you feel as a woman you can communicate with them better, or does that make a difference?
I used to believe that yes, as a woman, when it came to tile, I could communicate better with women. With plumbing, no, I do have to sell more to the man and be able to communicate more to him. Just because I do have a lot of customers out there that are wives, who don't know what I'm talking about. And that's fine. I don't expect them to know what I'm talking about unless they're in the industry, but they also are very confused. So I have to be able to, talk to their husband. Hey, this is what this piece is like. So the wife usually 100% picks out the style that they like, the style that's going to go in their home. But as for function wise, I do normally have to sell to the men and relate to them a little bit more.
Yeah, I think that's tricky.
So when you're asking the closing question, who are you looking at?
Both of them. If it is a couple, I look at both of them. I acknowledge both of them because they are a team. So if it is a man walking in by himself, I will just acknowledge him. If it's a woman, I will acknowledge her. And if the answer comes up, I have to talk to my significant other about that. I say, okay, well, here's a copy of it with the final price. Have them give me a call and I can walk through all of this with them and you guys can pay over the phone and set up delivery.
What's the average ticket that you sell at Cowan right now?
I'd say anywhere right now, probably around 3 or above.
3,000.
Yeah, 3,000. Right. Now I just started, I'm just getting my feet wet still in the showroom. We do have another showroom consultant who, I don't want to know what her tickets sell for because she puts me to shame, but she's been in the business about 20 years. And
so the point I'm driving for is that you have a fiance and many people out there have spouses and or you have
Yes.
partners that you're involved with. And, I don't know what your number is with your spouse that you can go out and spend with discretionary income or do whatever.
So I think it depends on what he plans on spending it on. So I will never openly talk to my spouse about how much money I spend on coffee because I'm a caffeine addict, rightfully so. He knew this going into the relationship with me. I will tell you guys out there that those of you who have children and pay daycare, my Starbucks last year did equate almost to what I spend in daycare for the year.
Wow.
My bank decided to,
Gold nugget.
yeah, my bank does separate that out for me.
You could buy a really nice Italian espresso maker for that budget.
I got a really nice coffee maker for Christmas. My fiance thought it would deter me from going to Starbucks. I still go. I go less now that I can make it at home, but I still go.
Wow.
But yes.
We're very vulnerable here. Everybody gets to open up the kimono, really share with themselves.
But I do.
I wish you wouldn't be wearing the kimono because I know there's nothing underneath.
Well, thank God we're not doing the video podcast today.
Wow.
All right. Should we talk about NARI?
We should talk about NARI always.
How'd you get involved in that? What's that stand for again?
National Association of the Remodeling Industry.
Thank God she said it. And I'm on the board. And I've been on the board for 2 years.
North American.
I can never remember. I know.
You have been on the board longer than I have been on the board.
I guess they won't be sponsoring. Yes, they are going to. Because we're going to help them out with Amanda's idea. But
yes.
Tell Alan how you got involved.
So I got involved. So when I started with the tile shop, the one I was at was kind of involved in NARI, not head deep in for their chapter out there. But enough that we host some events and things. So I brought it up to Ryan when I started at Cowan. Hey, are we part of NARI? Are we part of NKBA? Any of these associations? Because they would be great for bringing in business and potential contractors, which is what we always need in our showroom. We can't build a showroom if you don't have customers. And so he was like, we just signed up to be part of NARI. I know, gold nugget right there. Can't build a business if you don't have customers.
Love it. Gold nugget.
So do you think
Bing bong.
you think anybody in the home services, somebody starting a small business, should they be a part of NARI?
They should definitely look into it. They should attend a NARI nights, I always say, and it's at least a networking opportunity for them. So whether they go and they learn nothing, okay, then what they do, they spend a few hours on a Tuesday night, at least hanging out, eating great food, by the way, because NARI always has great food. Just throwing that out there. Or they go and they decide to join and they network a lot. So you're going to get more success out of NARI if you put success in. If you're trying, you're going to get success at it. So if you just go and you stand there in the back and you don't talk to anybody, of course, it's not going to be useful for you. But if you go and you introduce yourself and you just even have a conversation about, hey, what do you do? You're going to find someone who you like to talk to. I mean, that's how I found Chris. I was like, wait, what business are you with? Hey, do y'all need plumbing supplies? Let me talk to you about this.
And she's earned her business. So
she said, cash or card.
Yeah.
Cash or card.
And what do you want me to deliver it? Wow, that's very forward of you. I'm just here. I'm a little threatened by you.
Actually, I was a little more straightforward. I was like, cash card or net 30 account. We can finance for you.
She did good. Yeah, she was good. She actually brought this to Cowan. So you asked how she got into NARI, and she actually brought the idea to this business. I know this business is working with at least 3 other remodelers that I know now that we're not using them before. So that's actually paid off. Look at that networking. And we've talked about this before. To grow your business, you got to do that.
You have to show up. You can't just go to 1 or 2 meetings. You have to consistently show up. And I am there every month, except for this month. I apologize to Catherine already. She's our executive director. I will not be at this month's NARI nights in February.
Uh-oh.
I know she's a little mad at me. But in my defense,
how lucky is Cowan to have somebody?
Oh, they're super lucky all the time.
They are super lucky. You can tell.
Yeah. I mean, to have an employee who actually is thinking about ways to grow the business.
Yeah.
Well, because it's
showing up.
It's also my business.
They don't have enough.
Look, if I don't grow customers, I don't have a paycheck, y'all. So
yeah, that's true.
Gold nugget of life right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So she came in to look at the podcast. And we're going to start wrapping this up a little bit because she wants to start her own podcast.
What do you think so far?
So
I love it.
all
I
right.
don't think all of my podcast guests will be as entertaining as you two, though. So I'm going to have to work on that.
Did you hear that?
We're going to be her guest soon.
You
That's
are
right.
going to be
We
my
already
guest,
are.
right? You put me through this torture. I'm going to turn around and put you through this torture.
I love it. We're absolutely doing it. So
Equality, right? We're
tell
all
us what your
working towards
podcast is
equality.
going to be about because we'll go ahead and promote it later after you get it going. But what are you going to do it about?
So our podcast is going to be, well, my podcast, but it's going to be sponsored by NARI, of course, for our new chapter, our new committee that we just started, which I am the chair of, by the way. So yay for me. Little, self-pride right there. But it is for emerging professionals. So those are the people who are
Younger than Chris.
Oh, I know. You know what? I aged out.
That's
She goes, no offense, but you're not old enough.
oh my
I mean, you're
God.
too old.
No, you should have seen it though when I announced the emerging professionals, the amount of NARI people who gave me so much attitude. By the way, those guidelines have been kind of revamped. So people out there. But the emerging professionals,
Just for the record, I didn't make the second cut either.
he didn't. He didn't.
Was Chris one of the ones complaining the most?
I was not actually because
No,
I want her to talk about what she's doing because we need more young people in this industry and we need more of this fresh blood and this attitude that you're hearing on the podcast. We all need it. And it's going to help all of us. So I'm a big fan. I'm a real big fan.
Yes.
Of it,
So we started the emerging professionals group to introduce those who are just coming into the industry to our seasoned NARI members to be their mentors, basically. Because right now in the industry, we have a generational gap, a huge one, of those who are older, who are dead set in their ways.
They're pricks.
Yes. A lot of us old white guys are.
Wow. I mean,
And
I
I just put
wasn't
myself in
gonna
that
throw like race in there, but
Well,
I just
since
think
I
a lot
am
of
one,
old guys are.
I can make fun of myself. But yeah, no, I mean, it's true. They can be a little prickly. They can definitely be set in their ways. They
A little
can,
prickly, like a cactus over here.
yeah, exactly. And as much as I said it, a lot of guys don't embrace it. We just need more young blood in this business.
We do. And in order to get that, we started the emerging professional. So it's for anyone who is under the age of 35 or in their first 5 years.
Just missed.
I know you guys just missed it.
Oh my God.
Who are in their first 5 years of the industry, whether they're coming fresh out of high school, whether they are, new to a company like the Trust Toolbox, and they're one of their newer hires, whether they're new in design, things like that. What we want to do is we want to partner them with someone who has their own business or who has been in the industry for a long time, just to let them know that, hey, we also had a day one in the business. We understand what your struggles are. This is how you overcome those. Because right now, the issue with why we don't have a lot of young people is you guys don't want to hire us. You don't want to hire us. And
Why is that, Chris?
Well, it's not that I don't.
No, let me answer this for Chris. It's because you guys require someone who has 20 plus years experience. And, I'm
That
only
means you
27.
started when you were
So,
like 12.
yeah,
4. Yeah.
7 in my case.
That's right.
You want us to have more experience than how old we are. And how do you get experience if no one offers you experience? So those of us who
You're awful.
that he is awful, let me tell you.
Wow. I didn't drive anywhere and I'm getting beaten up for this. I'm going to go talk to Uncle Jack for a minute while you guys keep ripping me.
But no, so it's to partner them with someone who understands where they're coming from so that they don't feel so discouraged of being in the industry. Because
Do you ever have any books that you recommend they read?
oh gosh.
Can you think of a book?
Where's the Cheese? I think is one of the best-selling books.
There's another one that could be really good. Oh, Chris,
Oh,
you wrote a book, didn't you?
wait, what?
What? And
I thought he said books that were good that we recommend.
oh, hello. And on that note, from the zoo to the wild, our former guest, Amanda Griffey, which you can't be with us any longer because I just put her on mute for the rest of the show.
He would never.
No, he would not.
Does he still want plumbing supplies?
He does.
Yeah,
At that discounted rate with that great service
Yeah,
from
that
Cowan
great
Supply.
service. That's what he's getting. That great service. He's paying me for the service, y'all. My customer service.
This has been fun. Amanda, thanks for coming on.
Of course.
We will continue this conversation. We'll pump up your podcast when you get going as well. And we're excited that you came into the industry, excited that you came into the booth with us for a little while, and I hope you had some fun. However,
I'm not TikToking with you.
that's going to happen in a minute. We got to ask you 3 questions before you go.
3 questions.
All right. So we ask everybody who comes on there. She's not prepared. So here we go.
I'm not prepared.
All right. Number 1, what's the favorite feature of your home?
My coffee maker. Is that considered a feature of my home?
Bingo.
Very good.
Yep.
All right. Number 2. That was pretty quick. Number 2.
I've been thinking about it. I do have a coffee cup tattoo for those of you guys. I know we're not on camera, but I do have one with
Really?
an IV line running into my arm. Yes.
Really? Let's see.
Okay. Hold on. getting a little saucy.
All right. We're getting saucy in the
She said it was
studio.
on her arm.
All right.
Oh my God.
Oh my
she
God, it really
does.
is.
You need to put that on TikTok.
It says installing human mode on it.
Oh my
because
God. That's awesome.
It says what?
installing human mode. Yes. So
That is.
I did not lie to you when I said I was a caffeine addict.
You are.
I
All
am.
right.
That's hardcore.
Wear it with
That
pride.
is. All right. Number 2, a customer service pet peeve.
Oh my gosh. Customers who think they can get material same day. Okay, guys, look, I know that there are places out there who have it, but especially if you are in plumbing and you are looking for plumbing, please understand half of our stuff is sitting in the ocean somewhere, and it's going to take at least 4 months for you to get that faucet of your dreams. Okay. So when you guys start and you sit down with your contractor and there's like, oh, hey, we're going to start in 6 months, and you guys are all excited to pick out your tile, go pick out your plumbing fixtures. Okay. Go pick out your plumbing fixtures.
Yes,
Pet peeve.
ma'am.
And there you go.
Cannot get it same
Right.
day.
What? Hey, Alan, get back in here. Not now. Not now, Alan.
I got to pick out my plumbing fixtures.
Get back here.
Also,
All right.
I will tell you, any contractor that is good will not have an opening the next day. Okay. Please take that advice. Gold nugget right there. If your contractor says I can start tomorrow, please do some research on him.
Fire.
Right.
She is. I know. And fuego. All right. Last one. Here we go. A DIY or a contractor nightmare story.
Okay. So when I was doing tile, we were doing this huge house all in marble. I'm a big marble girl. I love it. They hired a contractor. Unfortunately, this woman is one of my best friends, so she won't be embarrassed that I tell this story now. This is how we became best friends. Her contractor decided to set all of her marble in her master bathroom with mastic. 2 weeks later, all of the marble in her bathroom fell off. It was $15,000 worth of tile. That does not include the damage that happened, just tile. And we had to go through all of it again. Now, considering tile is a natural stone and it is cut from different quarries, we had to special order all of her marble so that it matched the rest of the stuff in her house.
Oh
Her and I are
gosh.
best friends. I still talk to her to this day. After that, believe me, she did get a licensed and insured contractor.
Wow. So the first person she picked was not a licensed insured contractor.
That's important.
It is super important.
Oh,
Yes, because most contracting businesses go out in 5 years. So 5 years down the line from now, if something happens, guess what? Your contractor probably won't be in business.
Yeah.
So make sure they're licensed and insured, of course, always, and check their work. Make sure that they did not pull those photos off of Google and said that they were theirs. That's also very important. Okay, just
stop doing that, Chris.
You know what?
yeah.
You know what?
Chris.
I like mastic.
No, but all right. So
but
Amanda,
mastic is
please
not
enlighten the
waterproof.
audience.
Oh.
Right.
Mastic cannot be used in wet areas.
Gold
So
Thank
nugget.
you. Good. Another gold nugget for you,
Gold
DIY
nugget, yes.
fiends.
Also,
And that's a
those-
contractor nightmare story.
Can I
too.
throw out another DIY or good gold nugget for you DIYers?
Yes, please. Another gold nuggets, please. Gold nugget coming. Bing bong.
Okay, ready? Just so you guys know, there are commercial breaks in all of those home remodeling shows that you watch. You cannot do a bathroom in 48 hours.
I hear you.
Okay. I just want to throw that out there to y'all. Okay. It takes at least 24 hours for that shower pan to set. So do not think that you can have your bathroom remodeled within 48 hours. Commercial breaks, guys. Commercial breaks, they exist.
Truth be telling right here, Amanda, you did a great job. Thank you
Thanks.
so much for coming on here. You brought the fire, you brought the energy for the adventure team. And until next time, keep rising up to that mountaintop of success, and we'll see you on the other side. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Small Business Safari. Don't forget to go out and rate, review, and follow me. And if you like this episode, go out and check out my other episodes or check out my Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn for other great content. And remember, your positive attitude will help you achieve your higher altitude in the wild world of small business ownership. Until next time, make it a great day, Adventure Team.